So, yeah.
I got a really funny memory of your mum and dad. Like
coming into the house.
Only time I ever met them, they knocked on the door, I answered. I think I was topless, like, yeah, hello. And they were like, oh, wrong house. I was like, yeah, Sal, no worries. Like 2 minutes later, you open the door, she was like, it's not the wrong house. I was like, oh, you should have just asked for Adam.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast Chat. And we were just saying, I say it every episode, but I actually mean it this time. A very, very special guest. This is my first ever guest on the podcast.
Yes.
I was saying, the first episode was with Luke, because originally I started the podcast with Luke. You were the first guest, episode number 2.
Yeah.
Around 93 now. That's fucking mental. And we were literally just saying that as well. I don't think we've seen each other in like 2 and a bit years as well.
Nah, that would have been summer 2021-ish.
Yeah.
And then, just life's been a bit busy.
So, yeah, just fun fact for people that don't know, we used to live together, didn't we? Yeah, literally right down there. Just before COVID, before everything changed. And then here we are. So, yeah, good to have a catch-up.
100%.
Podcast is a good excuse to have a catch-up because you talk about stuff that you probably wouldn't talk about. Yeah. And you've recently launched your podcast as well, haven't you?
Yeah, we're on episode 5, episode 6. I don't know when this is dropping, but so we might be a few more episodes. But yeah, just released mine, Talk 30 to Me podcast. It's all about turning 30 because I did that, turned 30. I'm not in my youth's gone. I'm like,
what was that like, turning 30?
Sound. I think because obviously I had a kid young, I kind of had to grow up in it. Like, especially I know when we lived together, it was a bit like, I'd have him on the weekends and then like in the week it was a bit mad. But like obviously when I then moved after COVID, I was closer to where he lived. So I was able to have him more. So then it was kind of like every other day I had him stay. So it's like, you probably need to behave a bit now, like in it. So I think I grew up already. And now it's about, for me, reliving, like now that he's a bit older, it's like starting to be a bit more youthful and like obviously losing weight to be able to do stuff like football and stuff more. So like, I feel like I'm living my mid-20s now, just with a bit more money.
Yeah,
like,
that's ideal, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
It's calm.
No, that's cool. Because about the podcast, I fucking love podcasts. Like I know I was saying to you that I've been slacking with this shit, which I have. But you said you had a couple of attempts, but why do you think this one's the winner?
I think we found the niche. I think we really found the niche because everybody, like it didn't just happen overnight, which is something I've learned a lot recently is things don't happen overnight. Like, I think, so I remember when we did the first one, like I started at the start of my weight loss journey and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do all this. And like where I would have, if you'd have said then, if you can stay consistent until 3 years time when we sit down together again, I'd have thought I'd have lost more weight than I have, but I've still lost loads. And it's like, I'm learning that like things don't happen overnight. So where like I've tried to launch them before, but I've been like, right, this is the idea. Let's record one. With this, like we was in like planning for 6 months and we like, I found a notebook the other day actually where like I'd drawn what I wanted the logo to look like for the girls. And then I was like, found then a Google image because it's like a Nokia phone. So I found it and like, so like the building of the logo and that took like 3 months. And so like, I think it's worked because we've actually looked at it as more of a side hustle than just me having a natter with my mates, like, and actually looking at it as something that we would like to build and we would like to make it into a community. And like, whenever we would say to anyone, we're doing this podcast, it's about turning 30. They'd be like, if people are already 30, they were like, I wish I had something like that when I was turning 30. And then anyone that's our age turning 30 was like, that's so cool. Because like, it's not really like if it was a football podcast, you've got to talk about football. And if it was, like a business podcast, you've got to talk about business. And because turning 30 is just such a big
milestone, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a milestone. It's such a big, like wide variety of things you can talk about. Like we've done 5 episodes. We've done one about mental health, one about dating, one about body image, one about just generally turning 30, one about nostalgia, and then one for my birthday. So like we had a guest from like back home came up. So it's 6 different subjects. Whereas if it was just a mental health podcast, you'd have to have guests all the time to talk about mental health and
it gets a bit repetitive.
Yeah. So like it's nice because we sit down for a planning meeting and we're like, what are we doing next? Like what's the next subject? And I think that's what's captivated the audience is that you never know what we're going to be talking about next. It's just really 3 mates chatting a lot of shit to each other, being a bit funny. And then
I suppose that helped to get more people listening as well. Like if they're not in your ecosphere to start off with, if they say, oh, well, he's talking about, for example, football, this and then you get the football people listening, or so you say the mental health, you get the mental health people, and then you can get more people coming
100%.
here. I think that's quite cool, isn't it?
And that's like, even with feedback we've had, it's like my mum listens to it, which at first I was worried about because, as you'll know, I've had part of history in upsetting people on podcasts. Yeah. But like she give feedback like, oh, I liked this episode, I liked that episode, but I didn't like that episode. And it's like, well, that's fine, because listen to the next one and see how you feel. And then she did listen to the next one. She's like, oh yeah, no, I like that again. So listen, 5 episodes, if out of 5 of them she didn't like one, that's an 80% hit rate. Like, so.
You can't please everyone all the time,
exactly.
Can you? Yeah, I mean, the only feedback, my mum doesn't listen to them or watch them. She just looks at the thumbnails, I think, and the guests, and she just says, Adam, you look like you're on drugs, or you look like you're really tired or something. And I'm like, what? It's just the way like the thumbnails are edited, you know?
Picture,
it's like, this is the way it's been edited or something. Because I think I recorded one with my friend Henry in Marbella, and he was like, I was like, I need to get an episode out this Sunday, and we recorded like midnight, so we were knackered. And I was like, Henry, right, we need to sit down and do a podcast. And I was shattered in the lighting. I didn't have my lights because I was away, and that's probably why it looked so bad. But I was like, thanks for the feedback.
Raft for getting it done while you was away, though.
Honestly, Henry's the most recurring guest. I think he's been on like 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
And that's just literally, I'm like, Henry, I need some podcasts ASAP because I'm like away or something. So he's good. I think I'd do it with him more if we were together more. Like hopefully now I've got like my apartment sorted and stuff that I'll spend more time with. I'm going to go on the 12th because I'd love to do like one with him every alternate one.
Yeah,
and then
does he live there?
In Marbella,
Nice.
He moved over the second lockdown,
Banging.
So I've known him since I was like 4. So it's quite cool to see. He's got his own like real estate business over there, so it's quite cool. But yeah, also something I'm excited to talk to you about, sign up for your first 10K.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the other day, wasn't it?
Oh, wild.
Yeah.
Stupid.
What was the thought process behind that?
I think just 2 of my mates caught me in a vulnerable situation, I'll be honest. So, like I said, I'm on a weight loss journey, let myself go a bit the last 6 months. So I was like, right, boys, getting back on it. Attempted the 3 peaks, did 2 of them. And then the third one, there was just this madness that happened. So we couldn't do Snowdon. We are going to finish it. But then I was like, I fell back in love with walking. So I was like, oh, boys, do you fancy going for a walk around this place called Pont Stick Res, which is like in the shadows of Pen y Fan, which is the highest peak in South Wales. It's like a lovely, just 2-hour kind of fairly flat walk. And we was doing that and we was talking, and they were like, oh, why do you think you fell off the wagon with weight loss? And I was like, because normally I'm working towards something and I don't have a target. And they were like, why don't you just train for a 10K then? And I think because we were gassing each other up so much, like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. And then they sent me a link. I was like, well, if I sign up, I'll do it then. So I signed up. I'm doing it. That's cool. 9th of November. So
yeah. Because I messaged you tonight about it saying I'm doing the half marathon, which is cool.
That's mad. Is it the same date?
I think so. I assume so, is it?
What, are you doing Cardiff half?
Yeah, Cardiff.
Oh, that's a different one.
Oh, is it?
I mean, sign up to that one as well if you want to see me panting out my arse for the end. Yeah.
Because for me, like, I hated running until this year.
Yeah,
like,
no.
I was like the guy, running's boring, whatever. Yeah. And then when I was in Marbella in January, my mate stayed signed up for the Barcelona one.
Yeah.
And then I went for my first run, like mid-January. Honestly, have you got running trainers?
Nah, so...
Honestly, you get running trainers.
So Hookah.
Okay, yeah.
You
got them?
I'm making a big deal out of it, right? So I think I said to you tonight, I'm going to try and document it all. Yeah, whether that's on a TikTok or just filming it all and edit it at the end. And then...
Voiceover or something.
Yeah, if I do that, I'll upload it onto the podcast channel, to be honest. Yeah. So I'm going to train for a month. I've got running shoes from I wear them for like coaching. So that's another thing I'm doing now, coaching kids football. I like wearing them for that and just like general like gym wear. So I'm going to train with them for a month just to make sure I actually am going to commit. And then they've got a flagship store in Covent Garden. So I'm going to go visit my family. I've got my brother to sign up to do it with me because he's just started a weight loss journey as well. So I was like, fuck it, let's motivate each other. So we're going to train for a month, and then our treat for hitting our months for like milestones training is just to go get like the best fucking running trainers from Hookah as possible. And I think they're like the Bondis for any running enthusiasts. I don't know. One of the boys sent them to me and they look fucking class. So that's
the best thing I honestly did. Because like I did the run with Henry and them in Marbella, then I did one with my friend Max back home when he was up. And like my feet were so sore. So sore. And I was like, oh, fuck this. So I spent a bit of money on running trainers. I went out for my first run by myself. It was like a big thing for me because I was like, I've been with my mates, whatever, a bit of motivation. And honestly, ever since then, I've just absolutely loved it. Like, it's so like, I don't know, it just makes you feel so good. And I love doing it like first thing in the morning, doing something hard. And then, because like when you're running, like, oh, I just want to fucking stop.
Yeah,
This is fucking shit. I fucking hate it. And then when you keep on going, it's like more of a mental than a physical battle for me.
Similar for me for walking. Like last summer, I spent a lot of the summer walking around like mountains and Brecon Beacons mainly. And like, I was the same, like get up, get out. And like, I fucking hated waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. But when I stood on the top of a mountain by 6 o'clock, seeing the sunrise,
Achieve something.
yeah, I was like sick. And like, sometimes we'd carry on walking. Sometimes we'd go back to the car. We've done like a 4-hour hike. I'm back home by like 8, 9 o'clock, chilling for the rest of the day. And I've climbed a fucking mountain.
Yeah.
Like you're
Rest
seeing
of the day's
people
on easy mode.
Yeah, you're seeing people wake up and getting like, putting on their story, like their morning coffee. And I'm like,
Is that it?
that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm the same. Like most of my training is gonna be 6 a.m. So like I was meant to go for a run tonight before I came here. Got caught up in work, so I was like, boys, I can't come today. I'm going straight to do the podcast. But 6 a.m. tomorrow, Ponty Park, be there.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's good. They say you can't do it all the time, can you? But as long as you do it consistently,
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that's the main thing. And like, yeah, from doing that, and then Yanni's girlfriend Snow signed us up for the Cardiff half marathon, whenever it's October, November. And then I was like, because I was meant to get my apartment in February originally. So that's why I didn't do the Barcelona one. So I went and supported them over there. And I was this is fucking so like motivating. So then I signed up for the IB form that I did like 2 weekends ago. And it wasn't as big as the Barcelona. The Barcelona was like 26,000 people, like music blasting, everyone cheering and shit. The IB form was only like 1,600 people. But it was still like, I don't know, it was just cool to do, you know what I mean? Doing something hard. And
was it hot?
yeah, a lot hotter than I'd trained in before. Like that honestly, that was the hardest bit. Like I'd done 20k before.
Yeah.
So like 21k is a half marathon.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to know how long the distance is.
Yeah.
So I'm familiarizing myself with it. But like the first 10k I was flying and like I was taking energy gels, whatever.
Yeah.
And then there was this massive fuck off hill, like literally like that. I'd never wanted to stop running so much in my life. I was going up there so slow. It's like, and because it was so hot. And when you take energy gels, my mouth was like drying up.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I need a water station. The water station wasn't for like another 5k. And I was like dying off. And then the next 10k, well, the next probably 8k was fucking hard work.
Yeah.
It's like 6 p.m. in the evening as well, the thing.
Thing is on them islands, man, it's never really cool, is it?
No.
It gets like when we go on holiday to Lanzarote, which is like a Canary island. I know it was the IB for Balearic, isn't it?
Yeah, Balearic,
but like it's the same vibe in it. Like it just the later it gets, it's just fucking boiling, like humid.
Yeah. So sweaty. And then the last 3k, I kind of just like powered through, but it was like, they'd like tease you at the end. So like you're going down this massive long fuck off road and you think that is the finish line there. And then you like turn right and you turn left, turn left, back on yourself. And then you turn right again, and then back on yourself and then straight down to the finish line. And I was like, oh my God, fucking kill me now. But yeah, I did it. And I got a bit, not super emotional, but like crossing that finish line, it was a bit like
Sense
a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
And like everyone around there and like Claudia was there with like the camera. I think I've got footage on there, I'll have to show you. Because she like interviewed me straight after. How do you feel? And I was like, fuck. And like Yanni did it. He just, people from Marbella, they dropped out last minute like the week before. So Yanni took one of their places. Furthest he'd round was 13k. And he just fucking did it. He took his Insta360 round and did it in like 2 hours 20, which is an unbelievable achievement with his fucking camera and shit.
He kicks ball quite a bit though, doesn't he? Like
yeah. But it's nice to like do my first one with someone else who's doing the first one as well. To like experience that with him, which is quite cool.
That's cool.
I did it in 1 hour 45 and 2 seconds. So
nice.
Yeah,
that's a solid fucking time, man.
Yeah, for my first, like I always said that I wanted to get 145, but ideally I wanted to get like 138 or like 137 because Ryan did it that Barcelona one in 138, so I want to try and beat him.
Yeah.
But it was like loads of variables, you know, like heat and all that kind of shit and the hill.
Marathon next though.
Yeah, so about that. So like I signed up for the Great North Run.
Cool. Is that a marathon?
No, half. So I sent it to myself at the start of the year for my birthday. I did like a post on social media saying like some of my goals for this year is to do like 3 half marathons for charity.
Yeah.
So I did the one at IB for Cash for Kids, Cumbria.
Yeah.
So I've raised £998. So I need an extra £2.
I'll make it up to £1,000.
£2 to get to £1,000. I only set myself £500 target, but
that's solid then.
Yeah. So I've been pleased with that. And then Great North Run is in September. I'm doing that for Hospice at Home, which should be nice. And then the Cardiff one for Snow, Yanni's girlfriend's dog Wally because he's just recently had like both his eyes out because he's like cataracts, so that's like $4,000 or something ridiculous. Yeah, raise money for that in October. So yeah, it's just, and then so basically the marathon next year. So I was born in Boston. Yeah, so they've got a marathon. You have to apply in September, but apparently my mum told me the other day that apparently you have to get like a qualifying time or something for that. What? Yeah, apparently like it's a big deal. I thought it was just like a ballot. And apply.
Like London.
Yeah, but apparently you have to like get an actual marathon, like a legit marathon qualifying time that they've done or something. So I need to properly look into that and see what I need to do, because I'd like to have done that for my first marathon, because it's like full circle moment. Apparently you can see like where my dad used to work, where I was born, where I used to live. But if it can't be my first one, at least like do it. It'll be an achievement if I have to do qualifying and stuff.
If you can't do it as your first one, right? Yeah. Because how old are you now? 28.
Yeah.
Spend some time doing it, right?
Yeah.
Get Boston for your 30th.
Yeah.
Come on the podcast after, because the qualifying criteria as a guest for our podcast is you have to be 30.
Yeah, just 30 on the dot or 30
plus. Turn him 30 that year. Or 30 that year.
30,
So like, because two of the girls are still 29 and I was 29 when it started. But to be a guest, you have to be turning 30 that year or have turned 30.
Okay,
So do it.
So next the year after. So I think I'll just turn 30 because I think it's in March. So my birthday's February.
Come on, and we'll
2 years.
Get you on there and we'll talk about the full circle journey to the Boston Marathon.
But I think, honestly though, when I was doing that half marathon, I was like, fuck doing a marathon.
Yeah.
Like, it's so far. Like, I don't know.
That's the thing. I think like
one was gone as fast though.
When I play football, like I could run like 2 or 3K playing football, and it's like it feels like fuck all. But it's like I think about doing a 10K, I'm like, fuck that, man.
I think 10K is a good distance for you to do. To start off with, like it'll be a challenge.
Yeah, I think 5K would have. I'm probably gonna eat my words here. 5K would have been easy.
Yeah.
In some sense, like because like for my size, I'm fitter than most lads my size.
Especially do football.
Yeah. So like I'm doing you must have heard of park run. Yeah. So there's one by like 5 minutes from my house. So I'm doing that on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Just to get like just to get a feel of it, but also to get a benchmark time. I'm obviously going to post on social media that I've got my park run PB. Yeah. It's funny. And I think I'm a comedian. But it gives me that benchmark then to be like, right, that's what I can do 5K in.
Yeah.
And then I've got an app that I'm training. So it's a bit like Couch to 5K, but it's Couch to 10K.
All right. Yeah.
And you got to pay for it, which is fucking wild. But I'm set on it, man. I want to do this 10K.
I pay for Strava, to be fair.
I got Strava as well. Yeah.
I pay like £9 to look at my stats.
Oh, sound. But so I want to. That's like, I think for me, if I invest in something like financially, and I'm like actually talk about doing it, I'm more likely to do it.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and I'm doing it for charity as well.
That's cool. Yeah.
So I'm doing it for
mine now.
No, I'm doing it for a mental health charity. So Cymru. Okay. They're immediate intervention charity that look after people with mental health issues in Wales. I've done a lot of work fundraising for them recently, and so just kind of like they'd be my charity of choice now in anything I do. Yeah. I know the guy that runs the charity personally. I've met him, I've seen the work he does. I know a lot of people involved in the charity, so just like I know people say like, oh, this charity is close to home. Like this charity really is close to home. So I'm doing that, the 10K, and then I'm doing the 3 peaks again next year for Signposted Cymru as well. So
that's good. Yeah. That's cool. But I'll be excited to see how you get on with training and stuff. Yeah, it's good.
Oh, like I said, I'm going to hopefully document it all.
And like the thing is, it's a personal thing. That's why I like running. It's like you versus you.
Yeah.
It's like even though one of my clients like joke said, just to break it to you, you're not going to win. It's like, what? You just shattered my dreams. I thought I was going to win, but like. It's just like you versus you, isn't it?
100%.
Like, it doesn't matter how fast anyone else goes or how slow anyone else goes. It's just like you achieving that, and like you did that. You can't 100%. Like cheat, or there's no shortcuts.
I think for me as well, like doubters inspire me more than people that will say, "Oh, you're gonna smash it." Like obviously, I appreciate anyone that says, "I think you're gonna smash it," because that's really supportive. But what I appreciate more, so like when I was doing the 3 peaks, someone that I know was like, oh, can't wait to see you getting lifted off Ben Nevis by a helicopter. And well, fuck you, because I climbed it and got back down, and I didn't need a fucking helicopter. So like, just like little comments like that, like
putting you down.
Like
it's always a negative comment.
I think negativity will drive me 10 times more than positivity. Positivity does drive me, but I'd just love to say fuck you to the people that are negative in it. Like and I think everyone's like that. I think
prove them wrong.
Look at football, like how driven a team will be if they're playing an away game, because like they got fucking 50,000 people booing them every time they touch the ball. Like, of course you want to win then.
Oh, yeah. Especially Everton, because we're on a fucking unbelievable. Mate, we're actually, like, me speaking now, this is probably the happiest I've ever been supporting Everton in a long time.
I think they've done class this season, considering they've had them points deductions.
You know, we've won more games than Brighton this season. And people think
Liverpool.
Brighton, yeah, 2-0, easy. Yeah, we beat Newcastle.
At home, wasn't it?
We beat Everton, yeah. It was 3-0. That was like really easy.
Man.
Yeah. What was the score? You smashed us? Was it a draw?
Off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you, I'll be honest.
I can't remember. I think it was really recent. But yeah, like, I think, so I missed the Notts Forest game because I was in Ibiza. But
are you moving your season ticket to the new ground?
Yeah, so like, we still haven't heard anything about that, you know, which is a bit weird because it's like, not this season coming, but the season after.
Oh, I thought it was this season.
No, the push, it was meant to be like December or something, but it did get pushed back. Where is the Newcastle fixture?
I remember you being at home because I remember you.
One away. Yeah.
I remember you posting about it and I just replied like, don't need to see this.
But that's when we were on a class run because we beat you, we beat Chelsea, we beat Burnley and we beat somebody else. And no, we didn't concede 1 goal or something.
Do you know what the most annoying bit about it was the draw at St James's Park because it was the Calvert-Lewin scored.
Yeah.
And he's been on a run since.
He scored in about 20 games.
Yeah, now he's been smashing them in every off. I remember as well because I was watching it with my housemates. And I don't tend to watch football with them because my one housemate will have a bet on and he'll like illegally streaming the game, obviously. So it's like a minute and a half delay in that.
Yeah.
So he'll be like, oh, banging. And what do you mean, oh, banging, innit? Or I'll forget to turn notifications off of live score.
So you're
and it's like,
through,
it's like the penalty got like awarded. And I was like, don't fucking say a word. And like, we're 1-0 up. Yeah. I think it was close to the end as well.
Yeah,
I was like, fuck, don't say a fucking word. And then he just went, and I was like, oh, why? Like, and then I had to sit and watch it go in there. And then I was like, fuck, how many games has he not scored for?
I know, literally like 20 plus games.
And like, do you know, the last game I'd watched with my housemates before then was Newcastle-Chelsea in the League Cup when we lost to Chelsea on penalties because Chelsea scored like a 97th minute equaliser and then it went to penalties. And then he ruined that for me as well. So I don't know why I watch football with him, to be honest.
Mate, that's not fun, is it? Who do you live with now? Because when we lived in the flat, we were saying that we lived with Jason, wasn't it? And that was all right.
Yes.
That was not too bad.
2 lads now.
Yeah. 2
boys I know. Yeah, probably wouldn't put this in a podcast.
All right, okay.
One of them's a massive cunt, but...
Right, Phil, edit that out, please.
Well, I'll tell you about that after.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cut the bit where I say it's cunt, just in case he listens to it. He probably won't. But yeah, that makes Jason look like a saint.
But yeah, Everton. Like, the thing is, right, we've had 8 points deducted this season.
Was it? Oh, you got some back,
We got 10, then we got 4 back, and then we've got 2 more, and we're challenging.
It's as if the Premier League don't want you to be in it.
Oh, it's unbelievable. So we played 35 games, got 36 points. We should have 44 points. So we should be on the same amount of points as Brighton.
Fair.
So, but we'd be worse off in goal difference.
Oh, look at that. Newcastle in 7th. Yeah. We could get Europe if a few things go our way.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
We need it for this new financial fair play thing.
Yeah, because aren't you having to sell Bruno Guimaraes or something?
I thought the financial fair play rule was changing so we could spend all the money we wanted, and I thought it's sick.
I think it is, isn't it?
So they voted against that, and they voted for a different one where clubs can only spend their profits plus the lowest amount of revenue. I could be completely wrong with what I'm saying here. This is just what's been explained to me. Plus the lowest amount of TV revenue of the lowest earners in the Premier League, which is 95 million. So any player you sell, any profit from that goes into it. Obviously, academy players is pure profit.
Yeah.
But let's say we sold Alexander Isak for 100 million.
Yeah.
We didn't pay that much for him. So we'd have a nice bit of profit. But the fuck are we going to do with 95 million? We're like oil rich. We are oil and gold rich, to be fair.
You've got all the money in the world.
All the money. I think the second richest club in world football, we've got 10 times their wealth.
Yeah.
And we can't do fuck all with it.
Because haven't you got like 200, 300 billion or something?
500, I believe. It's
fucking crazy money.
And like, we can't even spend on infrastructure because that comes out of financial fair play as well. So like, we are fucked.
That's why we're fucked, because our net spend the last 5 years is like 27 million on players, but we're building a stadium for 500 million.
Yeah.
So that's why we're
fucked. Didn't Everton grassed themselves up, didn't they?
Yeah.
They like made the Premier League aware.
Yeah. And they were like
overspent.
Guiding us, saying like, oh, how can we manage it in the best way possible? Because it was like something to do with the interest, the way they were reporting the interest on the stadium after the war in Ukraine and stuff.
Yeah.
Because we were reporting it the same way like Tottenham had reported their interest on their stadium they built. And then they changed it like 9 months after. And then they've said, oh, well, that 9 months, you fucked for that. So it's something like that anyway.
That's wild, isn't it? When you got 115 charges at Man City.
Yeah, and they've got charged for fuck all, and we had like one. And it's like, does that really work? That's what I mean. It's not like we were Nottingham Forest spending hundreds of millions on players.
Yeah.
We spent fuck all on players. We literally got nobody. Like, who have we actually bought that we haven't sold?
Did you get Dele Alli?
For free.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
It's not worth much.
So we sold Richarlison 60 million. We sold Anthony Gordon for you for 45 million. You know,
I hated Anthony Gordon when we got him.
Really?
Like,
Fair enough.
I didn't think he was the best transfer we could have done. And then I remember he like kicked off at Eddie Howe. And they were like, he's playing for the reserves for the rest of the season. And then like we started with our injury crisis and they brought him straight back. And I thought, well, what's that going to teach him? And then he's been on fire this season.
Yeah, he's been getting a few goals and assists. Yeah.
So I love him now.
Yeah. I think that was like the ideal situation for like Everton because we got decent money for him. He wasn't doing much for us. And then like, is what it is, you know what I mean?
And wasn't the academy as well?
Yeah.
It's just pure profit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
that's what I mean. So like, that's sound. We don't miss him, you know what I mean? He's doing right for you, so he really fucking cares. So, but yeah. So, what else have you been up to last 2.5 years and anything exciting? Or?
Just being a dad, really. Nothing.
What's that like? Because I'd love to be a dad, you know. It's been a few years though.
Yeah, it's cool. I love it. Like, I love being a dad. I don't want any more kids.
No?
No, I'm going to have a vasectomy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Because the way I see it is, obviously, you know everything that happened with me. Don't need to go into it.
No.
But like my little boy was the only kind of constant purpose in life.
Yeah.
And like the bond we have because of that is mental. And so I think if I was to bring another child into the world, like as bad as it is for me to say, I'm self-aware enough that I wouldn't love that child as much. And like, so that's the first reason. Because I just think George would be the favourite and that's that, innit?
Who do you reckon's the favourite out of your family?
My brother. Yeah. Actually, my sister. No, it's definitely not me. And then the second reason really is because he's 7 this year. So in 11 years' time, he'll be 18. Won't be my problem anymore. Yeah. Nah, like, I'll be 41. Yeah. I can go down the pub with him. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't need to be, or like, say I'm single now. Yeah. So say like I meet someone, get like, you start a dating, you get together. Yeah, you're looking at, I'm looking 34, 35 before I even think about it. Then it depends how long it takes it to work. Say I ain't popping a baby into the world until 36, 37. I fucked it.
Yeah.
No chance.
All the night.
So I'm just, I like.
You're doing the cycle, you're starting the cycle all over again.
Yeah. Like, and I only realised all of this. Yeah. I was dating someone and like the conversation about our kids came off impartial, but like, and then they was like, yeah, no, I want another kid. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah, it's not.
So then I thought, well, and then when we like ended it and it'll cut it off, I thought, fuck it, I'm getting a vasectomy because then anyone I meet in the future, then when they're like, oh yeah, I'd love kids, I'm like, well, I can't have them.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, so
there's no question.
So I'm in the process of looking into that now.
Oh,
and,
cool.
I'm gonna get the old. And you got good counselling and that, but I think I've got good enough rationale for them to be like, you sound.
That makes me like, but like I still want kids. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think the one question I ask everyone, because like loads of the boys at football have had vasectomies. Like, I'm like, yeah, because I'm one of the younger ones.
Yeah, I know one client's had it.
I always say,
2 kids though.
Did it hurt? And they always say the same thing for about 10 minutes.
Oh,
so,
it makes me a bit like,
it's like, it gives you that like, but like I say, I got to do it for my own sake, I think.
Yeah.
But being,
it's what's best for you, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know
but like back to being a dad, sick.
Yeah.
So cool. Like, especially the older they get, like I think, because you lived with us when...
You've been 2 or 3,
like 2 or 3 years. So you like, weren't really talking, just scranning loads of food.
Yeah, causing carnage.
Yeah. And then like now, he's like a little person. And so like, he loves football.
You're his coach then?
Recently just started coaching, yeah. So I put, like, you got to put in for like DBS checks and stuff, and they took ages to come. They come back, not this week, the week before, but I was away doing the 3 peaks. So my first coaching session was last Friday. Last game of the season was Saturday. So I'm coaching now, like, I'm part of the coaching team. I think they got like 8 weeks of like post-season training for like mini football festivals and stuff. So I've maybe got a few games there that I can coach, and then we'll have a break over the summer, and then there'll be under 7s then. And that's when the real Pep Battiola comes out, and that's when I'll be coaching, you know, from the start of the season. But it's nice because I went to like the first training session, and the coaches know me because I'm on the side every week and every weekend. They said, anything you've noticed, like being on the side? And I was like, oh, fair. You actually do value my opinion. It isn't just a case of Soundy wants to volunteer. And I was like, yeah, I noticed this, that, the other. And like, we started working on that. And the funny story of how they got me to coach. So obviously I do Man v Fat. And I'm stood on, it's like they play in the 4G cage. So I'm stood on the parents' side of the fence and I'm like shouting, "Chop, focus." Da-da. I'm giving it all this. And she's like, the one of the mom's like, "Why don't you just coach him?" And I was like, George keeps asking, but like, I wouldn't even know where to start with. Like, she's like, "Just talk to Matthew. Like, I'm sure they'll need extra bodies." She's like, "Because don't you play for Merthyr Town?" Which is like a semi-pro, like 7th tier team. And I was like, "I play at Merthyr Town for a fat men's football."
I'm going to say, "Yeah, I do. Yeah, up top, top goal scorer."
Well, have you not seen me? I don't know. I play at Merthyr Town. She's like, same difference in it. I was like, if you want to believe that, that's fine. And then she's like, you shout at them from this side of the fence. They'll probably listen to you on the other side. I was like, okay. And then I was just to entertain her idea. I asked Matthew as he came out, thinking he'd be like, "Nah, we're sound. We've got plenty of coaches." He's like, "Yeah, I'll get the forms over to you to do your DVS today." I was like,
"Okay, yeah, she's getting real."
And then because my dad's massive on football, for my 30th, he bought me the coaching kit. So like I could turn up to my first session
fully kitted out.
Fully kitted. So last Friday when I turn up, I'm there like club shorts, shirt, CB under the name.
But
like I like that because I've always got the attitude of like lead by example, and if they see me turning up in a uniform, I guess doing it for the badge, they'll do it as well. Yeah. So yeah, it's cool.
Definitely, that's really cool.
It's cool.
I'd love to do that.
It's honestly, it's so rewarding as well. Like everyone always says to me, "You'd be great working with kids," but the money's not there. I'll be honest. Like the money I'm earning in my job, I'm not going to get that going and working with kids. So to be able to volunteer to do something. And I'll be honest, I loved it. Like, even if George weren't there, I'd have loved just like fucking about with the kids and just teaching them. Like, I think as well, because football's become such a massive part of my life the last 4 years, it's nice to kind of spread that wisdom and at grassroots level. And obviously, the more weight I lose, the fitter I get. Who knows, I might run out for the seniors one day. But like, it's good that if like, I'm not getting any younger, say by the time George is 18, it might be that I've got all my badges and I can coach him at senior level, and maybe I can have a 5-minute run out. But like, I can do all that, and I can, because it's so young that he started, I can build with him and my coaching ability as he plays. And do you know what? I'm not just saying this because I'm his dad. He's fucking solid. Is it? Like, he's obviously I'm big. He's not fat, but like he's strong. He's nice height and that, and he wants to be a goalkeeper, which kills me, man. But when he's on the, like, he's just got that like knowledge of when he's on the ball, like making sure he's looking for the pass or like looking for the shot, whereas like most of the under 6s are just looking for superstar, bang it in, like, and they just shooting here, there and everywhere. Like, I think because I let him play FIFA and he comes and watches me play and stuff, like he's got a bit more ball knowledge, and now it's just converting that into his ability, which is getting better from when he first started.
That's cool.
Yeah, I took him to Cardiff City as well.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because
he loved that, did he?
Well,
no.
I took him down and I was like, "Oh, come on, take you to your first football game." He reckons he's a Man City fan.
Yeah. Like he's a winning.
Yeah, because what kid isn't?
Yeah.
But I said, "I'm not driving you all the way to Manchester. Like, we'll go down Cardiff City, see if you'll actually watch a game first." So I took him down the pub with the boys. Like, I was obviously on the Pepsis, but got him a little orange juice. He was like, as if he was having a beer and that. And then we walked down to the stadium. The bloke with a bucket hats was there. I bought him a hat and that. Like, it was, all the boys got like a can in the shop as well. So they bought him a bottle of Prime so he could like fit in and that. It was brilliant that like my mates got involved. Yeah. And like, we weren't going until the day. Like, I was like, "Oh, fuck it. Like, whatever." Yeah. We get into the stadium. We're like 3 rows from the front. Sick, like. And 15 minutes into the game, he just looks at me. He's like, "Dad." So what? And I thought he was going to say, "I'm loving this. I'm so fun." Oh, he didn't say funny. I'm so bored. Yeah. I was like, "What?" 75 minutes to go. Yeah. Half-time come, I got him a hot dog and that. Middlesbrough scored, so it was 1-0. I thought, that's not too bad. Like, at least Cardiff ain't getting battered. Yeah. Second half then, innit? 4-1 Middlesbrough.
Not good, is it?
Not good. When Cardiff eventually did score, I was like, "Yes!" And I like lifted him up and grabbed him, but I like shouted yes so much, his eardrum must have just exploded. Oh. So he's crying because Cardiff have scored. And then like he calms down, they all go out. And then like my mate was there, he's like, "Oh wait, because it's the last game of the season, I'll do a lap of honour." I was like, "Yeah, all right, sound." So the Cardiff players are doing a lap of honour. He just looks at me, he goes, "Dad, how embarrassing to be a Cardiff fan." And I was like, yeah, fair. But he's asked to go again. So
Cardiff.
What? Yeah.
Fancy.
Cardiff, I think.
Against Everton.
Well, funny story. He's convinced that he might be a Liverpool fan.
Oh,
because his mum's boyfriend is. And it's like, obviously, like, I guess they're just trying to encourage it, innit? And I'm trying to encourage Newcastle. He come out of school the other day and he's like, Dad, obviously wants to be a goalkeeper. Dad, I was like, what? Everton goalie's top's nice, isn't it? Like, I was like, yes, banging. Do you want it?
Yeah, again. If you can't be Newcastle, Everton, to piss him off.
Liverpool fan of you, boy. I've obviously not bought him an Everton top yet. Yeah. But if he wants one at the end of the season,
I'll fucking buy him one.
Yeah, like, but he's a Newcastle, Man City, Liverpool, Everton, Wales, England, Portugal, Inter Miami, and Ronaldo fan. So just, I don't think he's not old enough to pick a team yet. And I've always gone for the attitude of like, I won't encourage him. Like, especially won't encourage him to be a Liverpool fan. No. Like with the Newcastle, he's got all of the kits from this season, but I never said to him like, do you want to be a Newcastle fan? I ordered the Newcastle top and he's like, where's mine? And I explained to him, I said, this is the team Daddy supports. Yeah. This isn't like, so what basically every team I've played for, I've got him a small version of the kit made. Yeah. So I mean, it's class.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah. So when I got that, like his assumption is if I get one, he gets one. Yeah. So I said to him, no, this isn't a team Daddy plays for. This is who I watch and support. So if you want the Newcastle kit and you're going to support them, I will spend the money on it.
Yeah.
If you're not going to, or you're going to change your mind, I'm not going to waste my money. He's like, no, I'm a Newcastle fan. So that sound, bought him a home away and goalies top. Nah, I bought him the away top because that's the one I had. And then it was coming up to his birthday and I said, oh, what do you want for your birthday, boy? And he's like, oh, can I get the black and white Newcastle top and the goalkeeper's top? Really? And I was like, you can. Of course you can. Yeah. So I got him with George 6 on the back.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, and then I got him a Wales kit because I thought they were going to be in the Euros. So I ordered it the day they played Poland. And by the time it arrived, they were out of Euros. Yeah. But he thinks it's class. Like, he loves it and it's all he wants to wear at the minute.
That's the thing with my dad. He'll spend unlimited amounts of money on anything Everton related.
Yeah. The minute he said he wanted Newcastle, I was like, sound.
So my dad, anything Everton related, he's like, yeah.
Well, I was going to buy him a season ticket. I was going to get me and him a season ticket for Cardiff.
I'm going to say for Newcastle. That's a fucking trend.
Nah. I looked into that when I was self-employed, but now not on my wage. But I was going to get it for the City just to have something for us to do. But when he said it would be embarrassing to be a City fan, I was like, yeah. It will, but I'm going to take him to St James's Park in the summer.
That'd be sick.
Hopefully plan it around the time there's a friendly. Yeah. And he can see the mighty so too.
Yeah. St James's Park's such a sick stadium too.
Yeah, and then if he wants to visit the Etihad on the way back, I guess he can.
Fuck it. So what's your football been like then? Like you say, the last 4 years? That's obviously like being a big kind of focal point, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's basically been life for the last 4 years. I'll go on like I'm a professional footballer to anyone I speak to about it. And I guess within the community, you kind of get that feeling like you turn up on a Friday, like you've all got your kit, you're playing for the badge, and it's good because you're losing weight and you're playing football. I've won the league. So there's 3 different leagues. There's the weight loss league, the combined league, and the pitch league. I've never won the pitch league single-handedly. Combined, I've won once. That's pitch and weight loss added together, and I've won the scales league twice. When I won the doubles, so the scales and the combined league, I was the captain of the team. So that was buzzing. But yeah, so I'm in my new team now. We've just finished the last season. We've only won 1 game, but we beat the team that everyone was calling Classic 11, so can't fault it. Scoring decent. I was like always in contention for the Golden Boot on my old teams. This team is a bit more difficult. Nothing really to comment on it, just that we don't play out of defence as much as we could. But I'd like to think I've got an eye for goal. Been playing 11-a-side, which is cool. I remember you came to watch me play in my first 11-a-side competitive game and I was fucking blowing out my arse. Yeah. Whereas now, like, I can play. I played on the wing in a charity match. I'm not a winger, I'm a striker. I'm a poacher as well. Like, I'm doing barely any movement. I'm just tapping it in. Like, but I was a last-minute addition to this team for my mate who passed away. They did like a charity match to fundraise for a charity for Signposted Cymru. So it was the team he coached versus the team he played for. And so they put me on the wing. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing on the wing? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. Ball comes over the top. I catch it. Lovely touch. Don't know how I did it. And as I turned, this guy tried to 2-foot me. And I was like, I don't know how to deal with this because normally up top, I'm getting the ball squared to me and I'm tapping it in. Yeah. So I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to step to the right. And I done him. I skinned him. And everyone was like, what?
He's getting the wing more often.
Yeah. Backing up top now. But yeah, I'm just enjoying it. I'm enjoying playing football. I've lost a lot of weight. I think about 8 stone down at the moment. I was like 10.5 stone, but like I said, I put a bit on. About 8 stone down. I think maybe from the last podcast, I've got to be about 6 or 7 stone down. I'm cooking now. Because remember when we lived together, I couldn't cook.
No.
I can cook now.
What are you cooking?
Stir fries.
Yeah, easy though.
Spaghetti.
That's what you want.
Pasta and meatballs. I do like meal prep and that. Like, but do you remember before I wrote the messages on the box and that it just never worked? I actually do it now. Like, I don't write the messages, but I actually do meal prep and I make it last.
That's class, yeah. Because when we used to do it, I used to meal prep for you, didn't I?
Yeah.
You used to pay for the food, I think, and I used to cook.
Yeah, that was the deal. It was like, I'll buy the ingredients, you cook it, sound.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I was never focused enough because I didn't have that reason to be. Like, as stupid as it sounds, whereas I guess a lot's happened with my mental health and stuff where I was like, I should probably get healthy. And I've done loads of mad things, like obviously the 3 Peaks. I climbed Ben Nevis and Scaffold Pike. I've been nominated for a Man v Fat Award.
Really?
So,
What's that?
11-a-side Manager of the Year.
Fucking hell.
I don't think I'm going to win it, but it's nice to be.
Nice for nomination.
Yeah. So that's up in Manchester.
Oh, sick. Is that from all the Man versus Fat?
Yeah. So I think from like 6,000 votes, I was in the top 5.
That's impressive.
Yeah, but it's on the same day as the under-6s have a football tournament. So obviously following my managerial duties, I'll be going to the football tournament instead of the awards. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to win it, so there's no point in me going all the way to Manchester, but it's like I said, it's nice to be recognised. Yeah. And then I'm playing in the Man v Fat Nationals on the 13th of July in, I want to say Birmingham, but it could be. But yeah, so football's going well. I'm enjoying it.
Nice.
And like I said, I'm probably healthier now than I was when I was 25 or 24.
That's
so.
That's what you want, isn't it? Health's such an important thing. I was in a podcast with someone last Friday and he was talking about his business and employing staff and bit younger than us, and normally like at the end we'll say like what your greatest strength and greatest weakness are, but you'd like say about yourself. And he asked me my opinion on him, and like my weakness I said to him is like prioritizing your health. He said like, oh, he doesn't go to the gym, he's like takeaways all the time. It's one of them things where people who are healthy are always wanting more money, wanting more this, more materialistic, more that. But then someone who's ill only wants the health, isn't it? That's the only thing you want, isn't it?
That's one of the things I noticed. Like, obviously,
there's a saying for that, but I've terribly executed that. But you know what I mean?
No, I get what you mean. I can attest to that so much because when I was self-employed or when I was, running my business before, I was so unhealthy. And since I fucked that all off and I've just gone to live in what I call a normal life, I've been so much healthier, so much happier, more driven. I'm doing better in my career. So I think like, listen, at some point I'd love to be self-employed again. And I think like, I've got so many ideas that it would be a shame for me not to try and execute them. But right now I'm prioritizing my health. Obviously I nearly died of sepsis when we was living together. That was a bit of a scare. But then like, I got to like 32 fucking stone. Like I was fucking fat, man. I was like, it's either 212 or 216 kilos at my heaviest. And like, I've said it on my podcast, so I'll talk about it now. But like, I couldn't wipe my own ass. I needed like a fucking special stick. Yeah. And so that for me, like at 25, I was like, nah, fuck that. So then, but like now, like I'm climbing mountains, I'm doing whatever. Like, and for a boy, I'm still like 26 stone. But like probably fitter than a lot of boys I know that are like in their 20s stones, like, and like 19 stone. Like, and I'm never going to be small. I'm never going to be a 14 stone fucking whippet. Do you know what I mean? But like, I'm on a good journey. I'm healthy. I'm a lot healthier than I was. And like, I'm listening to my body a lot more. And like, say, cooking more, eating better. Like, don't really eat takeaways now.
Yeah, really? Yeah. It's you versus using it. Like, if you're making progress and stuff, like, 100%. Compare yourself to like last year. And like you're saying, if you've fluctuated, who cares? No progress is linear, is it? Like, nothing's like that or like that.
I'll show you my graph on my Fitness Pal that shows like,
if you focus on like the micro too much, you get too bothered about the day to day. But if you look at the macro, then it's way better. So
like, that's my like overall the whole time. So I've lost like,
that's what I mean. Yeah. So like when you look at that,
but I've lost 24% of my body weight. So like,
that's so good.
That's wild. Like, do you know what I mean? So
it means when you're hard on yourself, like, I've put back on, but relatively,
that's what I mean. Like,
don't cut yourself too much slack. But
like, I've put like 2-3 stone on since like November, October last year, but I'm still not 32 stone. So like,
you're winning still.
Yeah.
No, it's really good. I wish I could. Well, yes and no. Like, I play football occasionally, like by the side. You know what I mean? And I do miss it because like it's good banter with the lads, isn't it? Or fitness and that kind of thing. But can't like afford to get injured. You know what I mean? I just think like if you break your leg or you pull
There's a po drop topper. You do.
But it was even like I played five-a-side with Yoni the other week, like a week or two ago. And like someone like stood on my foot and it was like bruised for days. I know it's not like a bad injury.
No. But
it's just like, if that was like more serious and I broke my foot or something, I was on crutches, that'd be a nightmare.
The thing I've noticed as well, like when I go for like, if we play an 11-a-side game or we go like, I'll play like, one of my mates will be like, oh, do you want to jump in for 5-a-side tonight? If you play against boys you don't know, they don't give a fuck.
No.
Like they will do mad tackles and like I say, we're in a charity match. Someone I don't know is trying to 2-foot me. And it's like, I've got to get my kid home. Like, so good thing about Man v Fat is that people are a bit more careful. Obviously there's the odd hothead. Yeah. But like
always going to be.
We all know that we've got families to go home to. Not, it sounds like we're going to war then, but like, you know, you got kids, you got work and
take it easy.
You're all on the same journey. So like, you do take it a bit easier.
Yeah, because one man that I did a podcast with, he recently just started the last few weeks and he was saying a similar thing, like it's getting into the routine and it's people on a similar kind of journey. And it's more like motivating that way, isn't it?
100%.
Get motivated by the progress and like.
Wait, does Man v Fat?
In Carlisle.
Fair. That's cool.
So yeah, I think he done like one session or two like when I did the podcast with him. So yeah, it's like I see it pop up now and again. Only because you mentioned it, and it's cool that you got like the recognition for the awards.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff's more like say motivating for you, isn't
100%.
it? And stuff. So
well, just the club alone. Like Merthyr, where I play, we've been nominated for Club of the Year.
Really?
So like that's sick.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool, especially like national. That's like sick.
Yeah, I think we're down to because they released all the nominees and then we're down to the top 3 now. So on the awards ceremony, they'll announce the winner, but we're in the top 3. Like
that's unreal.
I think they've got like 80 clubs in the UK. So to be in the top 3, number 1 in Wales.
Yeah, that's so cool. Did you see I won an award?
I did. Your dad collected it for you. That's cool.
Yeah, I know.
That's it.
Like the award, like you're saying the awards, I couldn't collect mine, which was a bit disappointing because I was like an IB for raising money for cash.
Yeah.
If it was like he's an IB for, it'd be like, like obviously I would have made it if I could, but yeah, it's like nice for the recognition.
Yeah,
and then like to be awarded it, it's like quite cool. And then my dad to accept it, it's quite cool. But I got nominated for 2, so like it's only local. Like say national ones, so much better than like mine. You know what I mean? For like Carlisle. So it was young male, like shaping Carlisle's future, whatever, 18 to 29.
Yeah.
So I was in the top 3 for that.
Nice.
Someone won it. He was doing like electric or eco-friendly something. And then the one I won was like the social media award. So it was me. I can't remember the other 2 actually. Got nominated. Oh yeah, doggy daycare thing. I did a podcast with, and then another one. And yeah, like I was away, and then my dad and mum messaged me. My mum didn't go. My dad and his friend went and said, "Oh, congratulations!" And it's just like.
So you didn't know you were winning before you went?
No.
Sick.
Yeah.
Because I know some awards.
Yeah.
Little industry secret. You know before, didn't you?
Yeah.
Like,
and like, so there's 12 awards. I was nominated for 2. So I'm quietly confident I'd win at least 1. Only 3 nominees in each one. Obviously everyone that applied. And so got that. And then apparently there's like 250 people there.
Sick.
Loads of like local businesses.
Did your old man do a speech?
There's no speeches. I would have been intrigued to see what he'd have been like. You all think he's all this, but really, he's definitely not. So, but it was cool for me because, like, say COVID and me having to move back home.
Yeah.
Starting everything from 0 again and getting up at 5, no clients and stuff. And then mum and dad just like supporting me throughout whatever since I finished uni and stuff.
Then,
and they've seen me like be thousands of pounds in debt, like when I came back from Ibiza, and they've let me come back in COVID and give me the opportunity to set everything back up. And then only like recently when it's been like good, and then so my dad to like see me win it surrounded by all these other businesses in the area.
Yeah, wicked.
It was quite like cool. It was probably nicer for him to receive it than me. It's like I've put them through shit over the years, you know what I mean? But
can't wait for all of that.
But yeah, it's nice, and I got the award at home and stuff. So did the post, and it was nice as well that lots of people messaged me saying like, "Oh yeah, well done," and like your dad did a good job. Nice to see your dad, and so messaging, "Oh, I was sat on your table with your dad, he's having a good crack and stuff." So yeah,
I got a really funny memory of your mum and dad. Like
coming to the house.
Only time I ever met them, they knocked on the door. I answered. I think I was topless. Like, yeah, hello. And they were like, "Oh, wrong house." I was like, "Yeah, Sal, no worries." Like 2 minutes later, you open the door. She was like, it's not the wrong house. I was like, oh, you should have just asked for Adam.
It's so funny. Yeah, that'd have been the house down the road.
Yeah.
But no, that was quite cool. And self-employed. Then were you self-employed when I talked to you last time?
No, I'd gone self-employed. COVID fucked me up
for events.
So I don't know what. Yeah, exactly. So then I went and got a proper job, and now I'm doing quite well in that career.
That's good though.
So
COVID's such a funny time for everyone, isn't it? You know,
wild. Like, do you remember we probably spoke about this on the last one, but like we were like sat in the house and there was like rumors of this lockdown. So me and you were like, well, we're gonna have to plan for if we go into lockdown. So we were both like, well, we're just gonna go live with our parents. And like, so I'd call my dad. I was like, can I come live with you for a bit?
He was in Derby,
and we both like just left, didn't we? And like jumped in, see each other at the petrol station, and then it was like in a bit, like
never came back.
Yeah, you never came back. I think I come back after a week because my dad was doing my editing.
Yeah,
but then like. It was
it's
like,
only gonna be 3 weeks, so
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, that like living in that house just abruptly ended then because we had like 2 or 3 months left, but like just happened. But it's nice we stayed in contact though. I think I think a lot of times like things like that happen, or like you live with someone like I don't speak to our old housemate. Sure, you don't either. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's nice to see you still doing your thing and staying in contact. Like, and
like. People come and go, but I feel like you make the effort. The people that
do you remember the Cardiff City?
Which one?
Fucking FIFA.
Yeah. But and Roberts, that was so. That was like when it was kind of locked down, but not really locked down, wasn't it? I
remember we'd go to the shops,
the Asda, and like fucking ghost town. They'd be like, oh my god! But no, they were like fun times, weren't they? And then
they said,
I remember just like driving back up.
Yeah.
And just, never came back. Because that was it. Because it was going to be 3 weeks and it's like 3 months. And then I was going to come back and I was going to move into Cromwell's apartment. And then I remember I was like, oh, can you give me another month till I move in? And then I was like, and then me and Lloyd split and then started again. And I was like, oh, I'm not coming back. I need to start again from zero. And then, that's like, I think that was June 2020 when I set everything back up. So it's going to be like 4 years and like 2 months. It's just mad to think how much it's changed. You know what I mean?
But it's mad as well that we don't really talk about COVID now.
No, it's like a distant memory. Literally a distant memory.
Yeah, so
but it's just it's a pivotal part in everyone's 100%, journey.
Like, I think, to be honest, I don't know where I'd have been if it didn't happen. I'd probably still be running my business.
Yeah,
but actually, like I'm sound. I'm not like I think I'm like I say I'm a lot happier now just doing a 9 to 5 and just not having the grief from people and just like I'd loads of shit go on in a small space of time. And I'm thriving now.
Yeah, the personal happiness and like work-life balance is the most important thing, isn't it?
And like obviously I'm still doing creative stuff, like with the podcast. And like the way I see the podcast going is like I'd like to set up a podcast studio where we bring in other podcasts. But like, do you know the Fellas Studios? Like I watch their vlogs every week and stuff. And I just think it'd be so sick to have something like that. Where like in Wales, because like that's based in London, there's so much talent in Wales that I'd love to do something with like Welsh talent.
Yeah, I think that'd be such a good idea.
Yeah,
someone was mentioning that in Carlisle to me, and I was like, "It's definitely not the market." But fucking no
one.
Like,
Cardiff's the capital of Wales, so like
people would travel.
Yeah, and like the amount of people, and like you probably get this, and like when you were doing TikTok and stuff, you probably got it as well, where people are like, oh, I'd be a sick podcast guest, and you're like, would you though? Or like, but then every now and again, you speak to someone, and they might have the idea of a podcast, or they might have this character that you think you could smash a podcast. I'd love to be that guy that goes, well, we've got a setup that we use for our pod, but like that's being used once every 2 weeks. What if we could do this, a different person every day and monetize that? Like, because that is really, let's be honest, the goal in any kind of setting up any kind of project is, or in my eyes anyway, is how do we monetize this? And that's what I'm very keen on that with the podcast already. I'm glad we haven't tried to push it and it's naturally grown, but like, I'd love to be able to monetize a studio where I'm going, right, we got this person coming in today, we got that person coming in, and like this pod's going out, we've got this ad revenue and whatever. Like that's kind of where I see the whole Talk 30 to me thing going. Wow.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool, isn't it? And like even in the short term, just like cover the costs of the studio for yourself so you can use it for free and have your own space and stuff, which I think
that's the thing.
Decent. And like say for me that I lose money on this podcast every month, but like I use it for networking.
Yeah.
So like I've signed loads of clients from this.
Sick.
From like just speaking to them. Because for me, if I message a business owner saying, do you want to talk about marketing? They're like, fuck off now. Yeah. Weirdo. It was fuck you. Less so now. But then if I say I'm going to be a guest on the podcast, it's a compliment because like I'm showing interest in them. Which and you talk about shit that you wouldn't talk about on a business call and you get to know them, meet them in person, sit down for an hour. And then obviously like, oh, what do you do? And then whatever. So like, I'll have made money that way rather than this way.
Do you know what's really funny about when you messaged me to be on this episode, right? So I was speaking to someone I know and they were like, Charles, do you know how to make money on social media? And I was like, nah, I'll be honest. I was like, I'd say consistency is probably quite important, but like, I'm not going to sit here and give you social media consultancy. And he's like, I'll be honest, Charles, I'm not going to listen to you because you don't make money on social media. I was like, so why'd you even ask? Yeah. But then I was like, oh, I know a guy that if you want me to put you in touch with, like, that's what he does as a job. And he's like, well, we'll have to pay him. I was like, I'd assume so. Yeah. Like, he's not just going to, but I was like, so like, I was talking about you to him, innit? And then literally, like the next day you messaged me, like, oh, I'm down in Cardiff. Do you want to do a pod? And I was like,
that's so weird, isn't it? Yeah.
But yeah.
Nah, there's so many ways to make money on social media, isn't there? That's what I mean. Like, say, when I was doing the TikTok, I'd make a little bit of money on TikTok, but it's like, I don't see that being sustainable and scalable in the long term. As well, for me, like, I had to be in the videos. So I couldn't be bothered to post 6 videos a day for the rest of my life.
Do you know how easy it is to get banned on TikTok as well?
It's hard than you think.
I've had 2 accounts banned.
Why have we been posting about?
Saying swear words and that.
Yeah, I don't.
But for the podcast. Yeah. So we had a
beep it out.
We had a podcast TikTok and we were getting like a couple of thousand views just like through using hashtags. And then I put one up and got 12 views. I was like, oh, I've done nothing different. And then someone was like, oh, maybe you've been shadow banned. I was like, oh, sick. So I set another one up, put the same video out and did it again. So I'll give up on it, I'll be honest. But I like what we were talking about. I'm going to try to get back onto doing clips and
yeah, I think TikTok, you just want to make sure the quality of the content is as high quality as possible.
Yeah.
Like, if it's shit quality, you're going to get shit views.
Yeah.
And then also, if the first 3 seconds is not engaging, nobody's going to
scroll past.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, like, say for our clients, is that Yoni does all the videos. So, like, if I was to do it, I want to have a business.
Yeah.
So, like, he's really good at what he does. So, like, he's got all the gear, he knows the angles and that kind of shit. And then we have Zishan, who does all the social media edits. So he's really good at that. So like Johnny will record it. So high quality, Zishan will do the edits, like the captions, the B-rolls, whatever, any sound effects and that kind of thing. So then it's just like, it works well. So like it's different for a podcast because you chop it up. We do podcast style. We don't do podcasts for clients, but we do like podcast style. So we like set me and you up and like, well, Adam asked Charlie about football and then talk about it for a minute and we'll chop it up. But then obviously you start with the topic. So it's like, what's the worst thing you can do as a football player? So like negative hooks work really well. So like start with a negative hook that does really well, but you don't obviously want to be too negative and that's like you're a negative kind of person. You have a balance. So like we try and structure it hook, then some kind of like information if you're trying to educate people or something like that, then some kind of social proof to like kind of back it up. So like whatever you're saying, the information you backed it up with, I did this. So like say it could be, this is how you can lose 25% of your body weight by playing football. I've joined Man vs. Fat 4 years ago and I've lost X amount of stone. 1,000 people across the UK have done that. And then call to action could be message me for more info. So like hook, information, and then social proof, and then call to action. Just something simple like that is a good way to structure it. Because like what we find, I'm talking about business stuff, it's boring, but
no, I'm on this for the podcast. I'm like, yeah.
But like if you were to say, I'll send you the hook sheet that we've got. But like if I was to say to you, oh, you need to create like a viral video, it's hard to process for me as well.
Yeah.
But like say what we do is, I'll show you after the podcast. We won't bore everyone by this, but split it up into pillars.
Yeah.
So like we would do frequently asked questions as one. So like question and answer. So what question you get, just give them an answer. That's like good content because especially for businesses, you get the same questions every day.
Yeah.
So like you just answering that question, people want to see that. And then another one would be like a tip and a trick. So more like actionable. So it could be like, say the shoot we're doing tomorrow with Tim Pookie, like a printing press. This is how you set up your Pookie press by unboxing it, putting it like this, putting it like that. So like educating the audience, so like showing your expertise, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
Another one, it's like celebrity content, which is like an easy win. So like using them as the hook. So thing that we would do for like watch jewelers, which is probably like our best kind of type of client, is like say, I don't know, Lionel Messi's Rolex watch collection. So like Lionel Messi, everyone loves Messi, is going to watch that video.
Yeah.
Rather than if you say Rolex watches, not everyone's interested in Rolex, more people are interested in Messi.
100%.
So like start with celebrity and then bring them in the information and then bring it back to you. So that's an easy win as well. And then like what else do we have? But yeah, personal brand stuff. So like with your podcast, I'd imagine people would like one of you three more than the other. It's just the way it is, isn't it? You know, some people are like you, some people like one of the girls. So like,
I think a lot of the fans hate me.
That's your personal. That's what it's good to be known for.
Yeah.
So like personal brand. So like,
I'm like the cocky one. Yeah.
So like that's your part to play. So you play on that. So like personal brand, just be like asking questions about you, because even if you
get to know the host kind of thing. Yeah.
So like even if you're educating people on your weight loss journey, it's like, oh, so Charlie, what's your favorite fucking meal to cook at home or something? Or like,
what I wanted to do, it's funny you mentioned this, and I hope the girls will listen to this, but I wanted to do this thing. So like I've got into fucking air frying, everything goes in my Ninja air fryer, right? So I said, can I just do like a Sunday cooking, just every Sunday,
segment,
just do a Charlie Sunday kitchen, cooking something fucking random, And they're like, why?
Why not though?
Yeah, and I was like, personal branding,
But that you can be known for that though.
Yeah.
I think personal branding is so like underrated, because say, for me, I always say to people, it's simple, right? For me, it's just like a few things you're known for. Say for me, I post about, like my personal brand is not on point at the moment because it's on the back burner because I'm busy with clients. It's an excuse I shouldn't really use, but yeah. So like post about Everton. So everyone knows I support Everton. So if you think about football, you see Everton, you think of me automatically because there's not that many people about. Alcohol, I haven't drank in nearly 4 years now. Yeah.
I'm on a sober hype. Yeah,
100%. How long?
No.
It doesn't matter how long.
Are we taking the slip up out of it?
Yeah.
So since August last year, I've only had one night of drinking.
That's good.
Yeah.
The thing is, it doesn't matter about the time scale. It's just like your relationship with it, isn't it?
Yeah, no. So August, start of August, it was after I had a drink for a WWE event. I don't like wrestling. Had the worst hangover of my life. And I was like, I'm never drinking again. And I didn't drink on my 30th. Yeah. I love alcoholic free beer. I drink more beer now that's alcohol free than when I did drink. And then WrestleMania, for some reason.
You love wrestling now.
Well, yeah. For some reason, I drank a litre of rum. Yeah. And I was spewing like every 5 minutes. I think, to be honest, it's because in my head, I'd started checking out on my relationship and I was just like looking for that like kick, which is bad. And I'm very aware that's bad. But I acknowledged that straight away and I've gone straight back to being sober. And like, but it's nice that even for my birthday, some of the boys bought me like crates of non-alcoholic beers. Like people know I'm on like personal brand, innit? People know I'm on this sober thing. So
that's good though, but that's what I mean. It's just like a few things that you're known for.
Yeah.
Like I say, me's got my own business, I've got my own podcast, I do running now and that kind of thing. It's just finding things that you're known for that people can relate to you. Yeah. It's like people relate to you different than they relate to me.
Yeah.
We're just like playing on that.
Just thinking about personal brand, I got a really fucking sick name idea for if I was to do a TikTok or whatever for my 10K.
Yeah. What are you going to call it?
So you've seen the guy that ran Africa, the hardest geezer?
Yeah.
The largest geezer.
That's good. Do you reckon that username handle's available?
I don't know.
Mate, fucking get it as soon as we finish this podcast.
Have a look. Because that's good. Funny, isn't it? Like,
that's good. That's punny. Yeah. So then personal brand and then podcast style to like, just like literally chop up the podcast style.
Yeah.
They're the 5 that we do for all our clients, you know what I mean? And it works quite easy. But yeah, it's just testing out. Like you say about the air fry thing, I'm one person. Like, yeah, we've got however many clients and stuff. And we present all the ideas to people. But at the end of the day, I'm one person out of 7 billion.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think these videos might work, but I don't fucking know.
Do you want to know a mad stat though? And I'm going to turn it into, like, I'm going to change the stat a bit in terms of the content because of why I've used it in the past. But do you know if you presented your ideas to everyone in the world and only 1% of the world liked your idea, that's still 7.7 million people.
That's fucking shit. Yeah, that's what I mean. So like, that's what I mean. So like, they're the ones who judge it, aren't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's basically it. But yeah, TikTok was fun. And like, I was saying to you, I think before the podcast that if I didn't do the TikTok, I don't think the business would be where it is. Because at the time when I was trying to sign clients and stuff, people could see I had like 300,000 followers. So they're like, oh, well, if you can do it for yourself, you can do it for me.
100%.
And then if I didn't do the podcast, then I wouldn't have built as many business connections and stuff. So,
and you've smashed it. So for this to be a 93rd episode.
Yeah.
I think I was going to say like most podcasts fail at the 5th episode.
Yeah, or like 20 something as well.
Yeah. So
2 stats, yeah.
You've got through so many milestones. Like,
yeah. And like I was saying to you earlier that, well, for me, consistency is like the most important thing in every aspect. And the consistency on this podcast hasn't been on point this year. Like last year, I did one episode every week. So like 52 episodes in the year. This year I missed a few, but it's like priorities for me now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it comes and goes. I just need to focus on like what I think is going to hopefully build business and wealth and that kind of thing. But I don't know. Fuck knows. I don't know what the right wrong thing to do is. I just do what I think is best.
You're doing well enough, though.
Yeah.
I think a lot of life I've realised growing up is like, do you know the higher up I've got in my career, I've realised a lot of things is just like, you obviously know what you're talking about, but like guesswork. Like with people management. So I manage people for a job, yeah? Like the way I would manage you and the way I'd manage that person and that person is so different. So like you got 99% of the time is guesswork of how's this person going to react. And I've had things before, I've had to have a difficult conversation and I'm like, I had to sack someone, yeah? And I was like, I was leaving my job, yeah? So I was moving to a new job and my mate was taking my job. So we were like having a fag before and I was like, oh, this conversation, they're going to take it bad. Prepare for them to take it bad. Because he was shadowing me, he had to sit and watch me do this. So already, like my mate from outside, like we worked with my mate is watching me sack someone. And I called the go in and I've really prepared for this person to just not take it out. I said, you know, we're letting you go. I explained why. And they went, yeah, fair. I saw that coming. I was like, oh. It's like my guesswork was wrong there.
Yeah.
But and I think that's what a lot of just life is people not being a parent.
I was gonna say, like, the older I've got, the more I realise, like, my parents are just figuring life out as they go. Like, my dad's retired today.
Oh, banging.
Last day at work, yeah. And it's like, I can see him a bit like getting ready for the unknown of retired life.
The limbo of retirement, man.
Yeah. And it's like, everyone's just figuring out. Nobody knows what the right or wrong thing to do is.
It's the thing in it of, like, a man that's, like, one man that thinks he's got it figured out, or looks like he's got it figured out, to me, might look at someone else and be like, he looks like he's got it figured out, but I don't. Like, it's like there will be people that look at me and there'll be people that look at you and be like, wow, he's got his life sorted. No, I fucking don't.
No, that's what I think on the podcast all the time. I think if people watch or listen, they think he's got his shit together. And like, I don't have a fucking clue what I'm doing. Yeah. I wake up every day, I'm like, what am I doing today?
Like, I look at people like, so some of my friends have like bought houses and I haven't. I'm renting still. Yeah. And I think, oh, fucking hell, fair play. They got it together because they've bought a house. And then like, we'll meet up for a catch up and they'll like moan about something else. And I think that's easy to deal with. Like I deal with that all the time. Like, this, like, so when I say that, then they probably think, oh, he's got his shit together if he knows how to just handle that. Or like, say they've bought a house and they're like due to have a baby and they're like panicking about this. And I'm just like, oh, do this, this and that. Yeah. And they probably think, fair fucking play. Like, this, he knows, but I don't. I'm still learning how to be a parent as we go. But like, I think they got their shit together for having a house. They think they got my shit together for knowing how to change a nappy. Like, do you know, like, but really, both of us are fucking just paddling like ducks in it on the surface, calm, cool, collected. Underneath in that water, you're going nuts. Like,
buying a house is not good.
Nah,
I don't know. Like, I liked being in control situations.
Yeah,
and there's so many things that were out of my control, like solicitors, estate agents,
they're long in
chain, and all this kind of shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Do you know what I'm thinking of doing? Yeah. So like I said to you earlier, I've got 11 years until my kid's 18. Why not just rent for the next 11 years? I know it's throwing money away in some sense, but like...
It's not, you got freedom though.
Yeah. Why am I going to tie myself down to a 25-year mortgage when in 15 years I can have a motorhome? If I'm working a remote job or a hybrid job, I can fuck off anywhere as long as I've got good enough Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Do work. And if I've got to be in the office one day, then I just make sure I'm back in Wales for it.
Yeah. I just think there is like a negativity around renting. I don't think there's anything wrong with renting.
It's just expensive for what it is.
Yeah, for me, like, it made more sense for me to buy somewhere than rent somewhere. But like, that's what I mean. It doesn't make you any better or worse as a person, I don't think. Like, who actually cares at the end of the day?
That's the thing, like, you know, like,
you only need self-care.
Well, yeah, when I say to someone, oh, they're like, where do you live? You tell them, they don't go, oh, do you own it? They don't. It's like, they don't care.
No,
like,
nobody cares.
Listen, I have a roof over my head for me and my little boy, and that's all that matters, isn't it?
No, that's the main thing. So, right, any closing thoughts? Anything you want to ask me? I know I've interrogated you, or
no? Just I'm looking forward to seeing this running journey go with you, and maybe when I've trained a bit more, if you're ever down here and you want to go for a little 10k, or maybe not 10k, like But like, if you're ever down there and I'm about, we should go for a run.
Yeah, definitely. I love doing that. I did do it 5K with Yoni yesterday.
Yeah. You can come on the largest geezer TikTok.
Nah, honestly, running is so good.
Yeah. No, I know I'm going to enjoy it once I get into it.
Yeah. No. Right, everybody, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like the video, subscribe, comment your favourite part. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple, make sure to follow the podcast and leave a 5-star review, and see you next time. Bye.